What's up, everybody? Gibson's Lawn Service checking back in. Look, I'm putting this video out here, right? A guy was saying he just had his first child, and he wanted his woman to be his wife want to be a stay-at-home mom. She just don't want to leave her precious newborn, right? Now, and we was talking, and he was saying, man, you know, he one day want to be able to give her that opportunity. And he was asking me about it because my wife is a stay-at-home wife. Now, I asked him, I said, that wasn't really planned for my wife to be a stay-at-home mom. It just kind of happened, right? Now, and this is what me and him had a conversation about. I said, remember, 2 checks is always better than 1. I said, man, this right here, it's a double-edged sword is what it is. I said, was your wife raised to be a stay-at-home mom / wife, right? Because typically, a lot of blue-collar guys, their wives are stay-at-home wives because they be linemen, pipe welders, guys that run up and down the road, work 100 hours a week. Listen, and that's not healthy long-term. I don't give a flip what you say. I done seen that break too many families up. But I was talking to him. I said, all right, now look, let me ask you something. Was your wife raised to be a stay-at-home wife? He said, well, nah, her mom worked. And, you know, she pretty much, you know, back then, you know, your grandma probably watched the child and, you know, whatever. I said, so how she's gonna learn? I said, the reason I'm saying it, I said, because this is what you're gonna experience when you turn your wife into a stay-at-home wife. Right now, the financial burden is now placed on your shoulders. Well, man, that's how it kind of was in the olden days. Yeah, it is true, but the olden days didn't have social media, so when your woman stayed at the house, she didn't know how everybody else's wives was living. She didn't compare, right? Now, here's what I mean. Comparison is the thief of joy. Everybody does it. They don't admit it, but everybody does it. As a man, you'll be in traffic, be like, man, that's a nice truck. Oh, or as a man, you'll be like, man, bro, I sure would like to be able to buy me some jewelry, man, and just kick back. Everybody have something that they aspire to have that 5 times out of 10, they may not get it, right? I said, now, if you make your woman a stay-at-home wife, this is what you have to look at. If she's used to working, now she have to come through you to get everything she needs. Well, man, everything in the account, we split it. Even then, are you making enough money to pay all the bills? Listen, I'm about to tell you something that nobody else is going to tell you. Are you making enough money to pay all the bills, put money back for retirement, and give her spending money? Because if you can't do all of that, only thing you're fixing to do is create an argument down the road, because she's going to tell you, I used to be able to keep my hair done, my nails done. I used to have the money I could spend on me. You're going to hear that, right? Now, with your woman being a stay-at-home mom, is she expecting you to help out with the chores around the house? Well, no, this is going to be a full-time job, right? So she going to cook, clean, doctor's appointments, be a dancer for you at night. Because, you know, when you come home from work, you're going to feel like your woman ain't done nothing all day, so she eats peach cobbler. She's also going to tell you, I'm always cooped up in the house with the kid or kids, and I don't have any interaction with nobody else. All right? And not only that, when you get a day off from work, you're not coming home to relax. You're coming home to help, because I never get a day off. It's a lot of things you have to deal with. Now, it is nice having your woman home all the time, but that is a double-edged sword. Not only can you afford it, can your woman go through that mentally. And then, if your woman is sitting around the house all day, get ready for her to put on about 40 pounds. Can you deal with that? then she's gonna come to you and say, all you're doing is working, you're never home. Because like I say, you have to be making a certain amount of money for your woman to sit home and not work. I'm gonna be honest. It's nice. I enjoy the fact that my woman don't work. But sometimes, when she get to acting crazy, I be wanting to tell her, man, look, put these kids in daycare and go get you a job. Since you want to do all this, go get you a job. How about that? But then, if that's your partner, you can't do that. But you have to ask yourself, was your woman raised to be a stay-at-home mom? My wife wasn't. She had to learn and adapt how to be that, right? I grew up seeing a bunch of stay-at-home wives, how they act and how they move. Now, majority of guys don't get that type of stay-at-home mom. And that's okay. I mean, you can live with that. Like, you gotta understand. See, I grew up a little different. All my buddies' mothers never worked. So everybody, all of the women normally got up around 4 or 5 a.m. Typically, all the guys I knew, if they had their own business or they worked in like a construction plant, they had to be at work at 6, which means they had to leave the house about 4:50. So that woman would get up at 3 in the morning, cook everybody breakfast. Then when the kids got up at 7 o'clock, homeschool them, she'd cook their breakfast, deal with them through homeschool, while she teaching homeschool, put dinner on, and by the time dinner done, dad coming home from work, and boom, everybody sitting down eating. Toward the end of the week, when the daddy got paid, she'll do the homeschool, then she'll take the kids to the grocery store, go grocery shopping, a doctor's appointments, and then come back home and cook. And that's pretty much how it was. And them women didn't ask for much back then because they knew their husband really wasn't making much. This generation of women, yeah, they want to be a stay-at-home mom, but they want spending money every week. They want hair, nails, feet done. They want to ride good. They want to look good. They want to go out every so often. All of that stuff costs money. So if you're not making that kind of money, I don't really advise. And it's not about the money. It turns into be a mental thing as well. So if I can go back, would I still allow my wife to be a stay-at-home wife? Yeah, I would. I still would allow her to be a stay-at-home wife. But I wouldn't have, how can I put it? I wouldn't have, so I'm gonna be honest, I expected a lot from my wife in the beginning. Cause I was like, you at home all day. You should be able to. Yeah. I used to always say, yeah, you're in a climate controlled environment. I'm in the heat all day. Well, I'm in the cold all day. And looking back, I was somewhat abused. Because I say a bunch of stuff and be like, man, you at the house all day. Women, I know they go to work, then come home and... But looking back, I put my woman under a lot of pressure right off the bat. We started having kids back to back while she was trying to finish school. And then in a sense, she kind of put her dreams on hold for me. You know what I'm saying? Which is part of life. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You follow the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. Yeah. But you have to ask yourself that. So, I mean, if you're willing to do all of that, and if she's willing to sacrifice everything for the family, and go forward. But like I say, 2 checks is better than 1. But it's not too late. Like she can stay home with the child until they get to about middle school, then she can take her behind back to work. That's just about what it is. So, life's a dirty game. You don't know how long you're gonna be here. I will enjoy it while you're here.